Okay, so let's just let a couple of people join. Let's see. We can try to get a couple of people to join. Let's see if people join in this early. Let's just give it a minute or so. See if anybody joins, and if no one joins, I don't really know what to say about this. So let's just wait. Hopefully someone joins. If not, I am just gonna end this live on YouTube kind of early. I guess what's my guess is that some people well, let's just give it time. Let's give it time. Let's give it time. Because the only reason I'm giving it time is because YouTube doesn't notify. So let's give it time. Let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. I usually don't go live. So this is just like, see, yeah, usually I don't really see this. I don't really go live, so so it's, I guess we're at 2 minutes, and apparently no one goes live no one. I guess people that are, I guess they're not familiar with me going live. That's the thing that's going on here. But like I said, I'm gonna YouTube through this app, which has a watermark, a Prism Live watermark, which is pretty bad. So it's not that I need to notify anybody. I don't have to notify. The thing is that this notifies people. So let's see. 4 minutes. No one's on. That's the thing. No one's on at this particular moment. No one's live. So okay. So I'll just even though this is gonna be live and people can watch it after, I'm simply going to start off with okay. I got something I want to talk about right about now. Okay, so yeah, okay, let's just start it off then. Since there's no one going to be live watching this at the very moment, so I'm going to have to try to. I'm still gonna do it then. I'm still gonna go live. So those of you who are going to be watching after this live, because I'm the type of person that just goes like this live at any time, at any point I just go live like this. There's no I go live at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. I just go live whenever. And the thing is that when I go live, I like to. Okay, so that I nothing important probably going to be talking about, but uh, so so 6 minutes in, and I guess no one's going to be live. So I mean, no one's going to watch this live or whatever. So I'm just gonna talk about a couple of things that I just want to talk about, just because I'm live and no one's watching. But apparently, no one really cares about me going live. So I guess no. The let me just be honest about what I think goes on when I go. I mean, now that I'm gonna try to go live as more frequent as possible. It's not that I'm going to go live because I just want to go live at I have nothing to talk about and I'm bored and I just want to go live. No, there are a couple of things I'm probably seeing with these lives. I mean, with this first live or second live that I'm going on, I'm going to assume it's a time that people are not watching, because some okay. So there you are, Westchester. So I'm sorry that yesterday I went live and and I cut out the live after a certain amount of time. And good morning, Westchester. It is around it's about 9 a.m. at this time that I'm live. And yesterday, I'm sorry that I was I was live and then I cut out the live. I just ended it. I think it was because my phone was low battery or something happened. I lost connection or something, and I didn't want to just go live again, because then it becomes a problem. Because where I was, I think the connection was pretty good, but then after, for some reason, like a phone call or something came up and it just cut the live, and I just didn't want to go live anymore. But what I was talking about yesterday was that that I was saying that it like, I don't know if it's summertime or in a couple of months, we have a couple of friends that have invited us to go. I mean, it's not a for sure thing, but they kind of invited us to go to Arizona or to go to Hawaii, which is, I've never been to Hawaii. And what I was talking about yesterday is that these people do is that they go on road trips. So they use their car, which they have a Toyota Yaris, which is pretty small for a for four of us. It's pretty small, but the thing is that the only thing I don't like about going is that I do like going on trips, to be honest, because like I think yesterday, if you were not watching, I love I mean, I've been to San Francisco. I don't know how many times. I think San Francisco I went twice. I didn't really like going to San Francisco because because okay, so when we went to San Francisco, it was cold. So both times that we've gone to San Francisco, it was around Christmas time, which is pretty nice because it's pretty cold. And when we went to the Golden Gate Bridge, it was foggy. So I'm not mad about that. What I was mad about yesterday, what I remembered, was that I said we stayed at a Holiday Inn at the Fisherman Wharfs. That's the name of the place. Fisherman Wharfs, or I think that's what it's called. And I didn't like going to San Francisco. because you expect, like, say you stay at a, let's say you live in, let's say you take a road trip to Arizona, and then you stay at a Holiday Inn, and it's pretty nice. The Holiday Inn is nice, the lobby's nice, the room service is nice, because what I remembered was we used to stay at Holiday Inns on when we went far away, and every time we stayed at a Holiday Inn, it was pretty nice. We loved the service, free breakfast, and all kinds of amenities, which is pretty good. It's pretty nice that you have a good room service. You have a swimming pool, which for some people it's like, some people don't want to go in the swimming pool because they're a little bit hesitant of how clean the or how clean the waters are. But that's not the point. The thing is that we stayed in Holiday Inns, and they've been pretty nice. But then we thought, going when we went to San Francisco, that staying at one of these Holiday Inns, because before, what when I was younger, and I kind of remember that my family used to stay in another hotel. Like, it's not really. And when we went there, I mean, when we used to go there when I was small, I remember that the hotel wasn't that great either. But the thing was that it was just a hotel. You didn't have breakfast or anything, but it wasn't that bad. But when we stayed at Holiday Inn, I remember, like, I think it was 2015 or 2016, we stayed at a Holiday Inn, and it was horrible. Okay, so the lobby looked nice, everything looked nice. What happened was that they charged for parking. You have to pay to even park your own car at the hotel. You expect to go at a road trip, and they still charge you to even park your car at their own location, which is crazy. And then to make matters worse, inside the hotel they tell you, well, you're paying for your room, but we still have to charge. I mean, no, we don't have to charge. What happens is that I think they charge for. I think they charge for the. I don't remember if they charge for the food in there, to have your breakfast and your lunch. And what I disliked the most out of the hotel was that, okay, so first off, everybody gets free Wi-Fi. That's kind of like their amenities with amenities, not amenities. I don't know why. I think it's amenities. I don't know why I keep saying amenities, but amenities. I don't know why I keep jumbling up the words, but it's amenities, and you get free Wi-Fi. So when you get free Wi-Fi, it seems like it's going to be a good deal, because we've gone to places out in the middle of nowhere, like, say, so we live in Los Angeles. So living in California, Los Angeles, and then you go to places like out in the middle of nowhere, stay somewhere, I think somewhere in between Bakersfield one time. But that wasn't because we just visited Bakersfield. No, we what happened was that we went to somewhere in Bakersfield, and we stayed there, and like somewhere rural. It was like very rural, where everything was like far away. I forgot what the real city, I mean, what the main city was called, but I'm just giving you that it was close to Bakersfield. And I remember the first time we went to like a place like that, we had T-Mobile, and to be honest, T-Mobile wasn't that great. It was pretty horrible. I think this was around 2014, 2015 also. I mean, when we had T-Mobile, or 2013. But at that time, I remember when we used to go to these places, far away, I didn't like having T-Mobile because like you take a road trip and you expect to have a phone that has a good internet, because when you're going on the road and something were to happen to your car, then you could make a phone call with your cell phone. But having a company that they claim to be the most reliable, which we know T-Mobile is not. I mean, some people say T-Mobile is very reliable. Yes, maybe in the city, because I used to have T-Mobile, and in the city it used to be good. But then there was times where it just didn't want to work. It didn't want to function, which I could be days without service. I mean, getting on the internet to say you want GPS was useless. So that's what I have to say. That what I'm just trying to say is that when you go to places like rural areas or certain places where you stay, you expect to have. I mean, you don't really expect to have a good internet from your phone. It's not, because we know that internet's not everywhere on your telephone. Like everywhere you go, you're not going to get a good internet. But what I'm just trying to say is that when you stay in a hotel, you expect to have at least a good internet to be able to connect from your laptop, your cell phone, and when like I was saying, when we stayed at Fisherman Wharf in San Francisco, the Wi-Fi. So hello, Joanne. You welcome to the live. I was talking about when you stay in a hotel, you expect to have good Wi-Fi. You don't expect to spend $300, or I forgot how much we spend on this hotel. But when you spend a lot on a hotel, you expect to get good Wi-Fi, because it's not, because what happens is that your phone is not, like I said, your phone is not going to have internet. And even if you have internet on your phone, you can't really do a good hotspot. You can't really do good hotspot at you can't really do good hotspot, because hotspot is we all know hotspot is limited. You can't do anything with with that hotspot to your laptop, because then it's not even the thing is that it's not unlimited. And like I said, we stayed at Fisherman Wharves in San Francisco, and I think the maximum capacity or the maximum speed we got from the hotspot, I mean from the Wi-Fi, from the hotel's Wi-Fi, was, I think, as I remember, it was like, I think it was like 5 gigabyte. I mean 5 megabits per second. I think it was 5 megabits per second, which in the lobby and in the contract or the receipt, I think it said if you're going to stay here, you can use Wi-Fi when it's necessary. Like if you really need to use Wi-Fi, that's the only time you need to use Wi-Fi. You can't just be going around using Wi-Fi as you're like 24/7 or as long as you're there. They said you have to share the Wi-Fi with everybody in the hotel, which I felt was slow. I felt like I was ripped off with the Wi-Fi, because if you use the Wi-Fi too much, you're going to slow down the connection for everybody else in the hotel, which is horrible because which is horrible because you don't really go to a hotel and expect to have all kinds of restrictions. You don't expect to have all kinds of restrictions going to the hotel, because when you go to a hotel, you expect a good service going to a hotel. And knowing hotels, we've been to hotels where they still have old TVs, very old TVs. But it doesn't really matter because you're not staying there what I know is that from some people that I know, you don't stay there because you're going to be watching TV, or you're going to be using the internet. Some people go to hotels knowing that they're just going to go there, and they're going to be traveling outside. They're going to be outside most of the time, so they don't really care about having good Wi-Fi or good internet. But sometimes you do need Wi-Fi and internet, because sometimes you're doing like me. I'm going to be doing a lot of recordings, and sometimes you want to upload them quickly to the internet, edit them, and if you feel like editing them, and I might be doing some kind of editing now. An app on the I have a program on the laptop where you can do all kinds of editing, but I don't do it because then it's hard on the laptop. It's hard. It just ends up eating up so much RAM and so much time, and it's just so much time that's spent editing and rendering. But like I'm saying, if you want to edit, if you want to do some editing and you want to upload it, you expect to get good Wi-Fi for that. Like I don't expect to get a gigabit per second, or they're like 500, but 500 megabits per second. But like I was saying, staying at the hotel in Fisherman Wharfs, they said no to the Wi-Fi. Don't be using too much Wi-Fi, because then you suck, then you ruin the Wi-Fi for everybody else. You ruin it. You make it slower. And then also with the ice, they said if you need ice, use it. But don't have too much ice. Don't take too much, because then everybody else loses on the ice privileges. So that's something I have to say. So what I'm going to go back to now, talking about what I started, where I said going on road trips. I love going on road trips, except that if you have a carrier like T-Mobile, I still feel that in 2021, going on road trips, it's not. And I think that's why I kind of switched from T-Mobile to AT&T. And AT&T is not amazing, but it gets the job done. It's not something that you can say it's amazing. Like going on road trips, you don't really get amazing speeds on road trips, but you never. What I've experienced is that you never ever lose connection on the road, as T-Mobile did. And I still have like I said, friends that have T-Mobile. And like I said yesterday, that when we went to Las Vegas, I felt like AT&T was the most reliable, because I've never going to try Verizon. That's the thing. I'm not switching to Verizon because I've heard of people say that the service is too expensive, for one. Second, the data usage, or the capacity of data. Like say you leave your area, your city, like say Los Angeles, you leave Los Angeles and you go to a place like in San Bernardino, and the capacity is different. Like you get maybe 1 megabit per second, or you don't get a connection because it's so congested. And that's the thing. It gets so congested. But what I'm just trying to say is that the reason we chose AT&T is because we tried it on the road and it just worked. I'm not saying that any carrier is perfect, but AT&T for the most part, it did the job. Like if you need GPS, you can get GPS, or you can make a phone call to somebody. But then text messages, it's a little bit iffy with text messages because texting it's texting is a big problem. And then video calls also suck. Video calls also suck. So like I'm saying, I'm going to be going. I'm probably going to be going on a trip to Arizona, and I will be doing a lot of. I could do a lot of recordings through my DSLR or through this phone, and that's pretty nice. That's pretty good. Doing those vlogs or because I'm gonna try to do more in depth recordings this time of places, of the hotel room, of everything, and let you guys know if if the service is good where we're staying or if the hotel is bad, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna be talking about, like doing videos. But the problem with videos is that it's kind of hard doing videos when you go to places because sometimes there's music and you can get copyright for having music. You can get copyright for many things, for showing certain types of things on camera, which is pretty bad. So let's go back to what I was talking about earlier, where I've been to San Francisco, I've been to Arizona twice. I don't remember. I don't remember. I think when we went to Arizona twice, I think we stayed at we stayed in Phoenix, Arizona, because we try to go to like the most famous place, famous city, or the most well-known city. Like if we go to let's say we went to Chicago, we would stay in Chicago. I mean, if we went to Illinois, we would stay in Chicago, like a more well-known city. We're not going to stay in, let's say we go to we live, I mean, no, say we travel to a different state, like say Arizona, and we're not going to stay in a place that is unknown and it's kind of a low community, like a place where it's like unsafe. So we just look for places that are well known. Like let's say some people come from Chicago, or some people come from New York. They're going to stay in, let's say, maybe Long Beach, maybe Santa Monica, and we know that those places are safe. I'm not saying Long Beach is completely safe, but for the most part, staying towards the beach is more safe. So we like to go places where it's more of a safe haven place. We don't like to stay in places where it's like unknown, where we've never been to and it looks shady. So one thing I have to talk about though, about going on road trips, is that before, when I used to go with my parents, when I was younger and I used to go with my parents to I mean on road trips, when I used to go on road trips, it was my parents, my father, every time we went on road trips, he's the type of person that drives pretty fast. That's the thing. He drives pretty fast on the road. Not on the road, but on the freeways, or whatever you want to call it, highways. He drives pretty fast. That's the thing, is that he drives pretty fast on the road, on the freeway or highway. And with these people that we go with, that we've gone in the past, they drive at the speed limit or under the speed limit, because I don't know. I just felt like, and I spoke and with driving, my when I spoke to my father about this, he always says you have to be going, because we're here in California, and in California we have our own rules. I don't think we go by the speed limit itself anymore. That's the thing. If you live in California, you're not following speed limits. You don't care about if the sign says 65 and you have to go 65 or 60. No. You don't follow those. You don't follow. I mean, you do follow those rules, I think, when you're on the street. I think that's how we do it. We follow rules like that on the street. But if you're on the freeway or highway, as some people, or interstate, as some people like to say, I would say it's not that way on those highways, freeways, interstates. You have to follow the other cars. If the other cars are going at 70 miles per hour, you have to be going around 70 miles per hour. Because it's not about those signs, about those speed limit signs that say, oh, go at 60 miles per hour, 65. No, you go at the speed of the other cars. If the cars are going at 80 miles per hour on the interstate, freeway, highway, you have to be driving at the same speed, 80 miles per hour. If most people on the freeway, highway, interstate go at 70, you must be going around 70 also. So it's not. That's something that people don't understand about California, where we're more free. We have more freedom on the freeway, highway, interstate. Anybody gets to really dictate their own speed, but you can't be going under speed. You can't be saying like, oh, everybody's going at 75, I'm gonna go at 60, and I'm just gonna go at that speed. No, that it doesn't work that way here, because what happens is that I don't think in California I've ever encountered someone getting a ticket for speeding on the freeway, highway, interstate. But what I've seen is that people try to take the carpool lane when we all know that they shouldn't be taking carpool lanes when it's only one. It's just a driver. You need to have I think a passenger. Yeah, you need to have a passenger to be able to get on carpools, or because something is wrong with. I think that's the only thing that happens, like illegal doing illegal stuff, but driving. So like I said, if you're going on the freeway, highway, interstate, you have to be driving at the speed that everybody else is driving, and this is something that our friends do not understand yet. They still don't understand, because they think they're good drivers because, oh, I'm following the speed limit. So if the speed limit says go 60, I'm gonna go 60, and I'm not, because the thing is that they say, oh, that's safe driving. Yeah, it could be safe driving, but the thing is that when we've gone with them, that speed limit, or going at the maximum speed of 60, depending, like on the freeways, highways, interstate, they go at the speed limit, and it's been pretty rough on them, because every time there's a car behind them, they honk and they say, and to me, honking is like, speed it up, come on, speed up. And you have to speed up, because then it's a big problem. You can cause a crash going at slow speeds, because too many cars are passing by very fast, and going at the speed limit is not good. And with my father, what I know is that when we've gone, and I'm not going to really say how fast we go on the, I mean how fast we've gone in the past, or how fast when I used to go on road trips with them. When I used to be going on road trips, knowing knowing my father going on the interstate freeway highway, he's not the type of person to go at the safe speed limit. He goes at the other car's speed limit. So if the other cars are going 80, he's going to go 80. If the other cars are going 90, he's going to go 90. If the other cars are going 75, he's going to go 75 or 80. So that's how it is. And to some people, it's pretty scary, because they say it's too fast. It's too fast. And I said, look, why is it that you like to go slow in these areas? Why is it that you like to drive slow? You don't like to drive at the speed that everybody else drives. And they said, oh, because I want to I want to be precautious. Yep, I want to be cautious and just, I just want to be cautious and just not crash or not have any problems on the road. But I don't know if it's true or not. But I think I read somewhere where it says that if you go slower, no, I don't think that was it. I don't think that was it. But what I have to say is that knowing my father, he's the type that drives very fast, and he's gone to places very, very quickly. On road trips, we've gone very fast, and I remember my mother used to be scared with my father, because every time he would go very fast, and she was the type of person that was used drove at the speed limit, where it's like, oh, we're going to crash, we're going to crash if we go this speed. And I guess that I'm used to it. I guess I'm used to going the faster speed. So when I see somebody else going at the slower speeds, which is still legal, but I think it's considered still legal going at the slower speeds, but at the same time it's too slow, even though it's still considered legal. I have a problem with that. I do have a problem. And then, because say we leave from here, from our home. Say I leave from here, from our home, and we go, say, to Arizona, and you have, say you can get there in say, if we drive at the speed that normally people would drive, I would say maybe 5-6 hours, depending on the traffic. But if there's no traffic, you can go pretty fast. But knowing these people of ours, our friends, they like to drive at the slower speed. So say you're in, let's say, yeah, they like to go at slower speeds. So say it took us 5 hours to get to our destination. With them, it's going to take maybe 8 hours to get to that same destination. Or if it took us 3 hours to get to our destination, it's going to take them 6 hours to get to the same destination. Because I spoke to my father about the time we went to Arizona. I mean, with them, just us, not, because on road trips we've gone with them, and I spoke to my father about it, and I asked him, how long should you be taking to get to Las Vegas. How long does it take to get to Las Vegas if you go in the car at the speed that that I'm normally used to going? And knowing that, he said it should take you maybe 3 or 4 hours to get to your area, to get to that location. It shouldn't be taking you 5 hours to get to the location. Because what I know is that we've gone with my father in the past. We used to go to this place called Bed Bath. I mean, no, IKEA. IKEA, which is like maybe 20. I don't know if it's 20 miles away. Maybe 10 to 15 miles away. Maybe. I'm not so sure how far it is, but for us going there takes us maybe 15-20 minutes, 15-20 minutes in the car. And with them, it just takes like, when I've gone with them, it takes forever to get there. To the same IKEA that takes like maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes. It takes maybe 1 hour to get there, 2 hours to get there. And the real problem with this that I have is that, and I'm not trying to put them on blast and just trying to go just talk crazy, because they're good people. But knowing them, they're the type of people that just, this is what I'm going to say. Knowing them, they just like to go through streets that they're more familiar with. Or streets that they feel more comfortable with. Because us, we try to take the shortest routes to places, that the shortest routes to get to our destination. But they're the type of people that decide to go through locations that take them forever, but they get to the same place safer. To them, in their mind, it's safer. So it's a little bit crazy about that. It's just a little bit crazy with that. So that's something I don't like about going on road trips, is that it's like, I know how to get to the location, but you want to take your own route to the same location because you feel like, oh, I know this freeway more, so I'm just going to take this one, even though it takes us around, and it creates another hour of this of road, or of time, another hour. Like, it's crazy. Like, you can get to the destination straight, and it's like say we have it's like say we're going to a Jack in the Box, and it's pretty close. You take the main street, and it takes you to Jack in the Box, but because it's them, they decide, oh, let's go through a different street, and let's see if we can get to the Jack in the Box the longest way possible, or something in their mind. I just don't know what's really on with that. What's really on their mind. Going their own route is faster, or much more, it's just better. And it kind of irks me. With that, when that happens. Where it's like, why you took this road when you could have just taken the main road? Like, come on, you and that's what I consider bad driving. And I feel and I'm not going to put them on blast and call them by their names and say all kinds of things, because, like I said, they're good people. They're good. They have good intentions, but on the road, they are not good at driving. They're not good, because there's times where there's times where they, like I said, they drive at a slower speeds. So when everybody else is driving kind of normal speeds, they drive at the slower speeds. Because like we all said, like I said, Los Angeles, California is just a place where people are, you gotta be quick. You gotta be quick or you get left behind. Where it's not like some other places where, oh, you drive, everybody drives slow. Because I have even family members that come from other states, and they've also said the same thing. I rather drive at the speed limit because I don't want to fight it or have to or have some kind of violation and fly just to fight the ticket. So that's what they do. Except for one of my cousins that I know that's been here, and she drives kind of quick on the road, even quicker than my own father, because all of a sudden, no, I don't think it's that she drives quicker than my father. The thing is that I feel like she drives quick, but I think was because one time my father drove us. He drove us to Long Beach because we had to see our cousins. It wasn't because, oh, we don't feel like doing something else, driving or something. No, he drove us because he wanted to go. And when we went, I have to say, when we went, I do have to say that he drove kind of slow because we were just waiting for our other family members that kind of drive slow also. So that's something you have to put into perspective. That the only reason we were driving slow was because we had family members that are not familiar with the roads that we were taking. So we had to drive slow for them. And then, like I said, my cousin drove like that very quickly because she kind of knows the way, or she has GPS, and it's just like that. You have a GPS on your phone, just put the location and vamonos. So that's it. So that's all I have to say about it. About it is that when going on long road trips, I don't like that. I don't like that people drive slow. It just feels like it's a big issue, driving slow. It's a big issue. Like, it takes you forever. Then you take roads that just because you feel like, oh, because I'm familiar with the freeway 10, or yeah, with Interstate 10. Oh, I'm taking that one only, even though you could take the 210. That's because in California we have, like, say we're going to Arizona, and in our area we have the 210, we have the freeway, highway, interstate, whatever you want to call it, 60 freeway. And with those freeways, you could take all three to get as close as you can to Arizona. So say you take the 210, which the 210, I believe the 210 doesn't directly get, I don't really know if the 210 gets you to the 10 freeway, but I know the 60 can merge to the 10. The 60 merges to the 10. So good morning, Jose C. I'm live again. Just talking about more about what happened yesterday. Was that my phone? I think I got a phone call, which interrupted the live or something. And yesterday you said, so let me ask you something, Jose C. What is it that you like eating when you go to Tijuana? Because I haven't gone in a while. I remember when we went, we had shrimp cocktail. I'm the type of person that's going through my own cleansing or something. where I'm eating healthier, because I'm not just going around eating Doritos anymore, Cheetos, burritos, and nachos, and just anything that I just see around there anymore, like, oh, sodas and chips and everything that's just because like I've mentioned in a video before. And just so you guys know, that that video where I said something about get terminated from YouTube was just a prank. I was just joking around. I just did some crappy video for an April Fool's joke or something, and it sucked. But like I'm asking you, Jose C, what is it that you like to eat when you go to TJ? What is it that you like to eat? Because, like I said, I like to eat shrimp cocktails. I like seafood. I'm not so big on seafood, but I like my seafood here and there. I can eat seafood, and and that's it. I just like seafood. I can eat seafood. I like my enchiladas, and I haven't eaten enchiladas in a long time because, like I said, I'm going through where I'm eating healthier because I don't want to end up resulting with, oh, high blood pressure or diabetes and all that. So, but it's a problem with that. Like, I don't want to go through all that when I'm older. So you're saying tortas. I've been to a place around here, around my area, that sells tortas, and I don't know if they're supposed to be made or not, but I tried tortas ahogadas, and those things are not my favorite. I tasted them, and the only thing that I really dislike about this is that I haven't tried tortas ahogadas in a long time, because I mean, the only time I tried tortas ahogadas was when I went to a restaurant, and I was disappointed because I don't know if the bread is supposed to be like kind of old. I don't know if it's old or kind of like very, very hard. Like every time you take a bite, it tastes kind of like stale. Or if it's not stale, it's I don't think it's stale. It's like it's so hard that when you take a bite, it kind of like it's a mission just to try to eat the bread with the with the uh with the meat. So I don't really know if it's a problem with the bread. I mean, with the fast food place, or the bread is supposed to be that hard for the tortas ahogadas. So I don't really know. But what I usually used to eat when I used to go to Mexican restaurants, I used to like my enchiladas. I used to like Sometimes I used to like burritos, but sometimes burritos, in some places it's really weird when you ask for enchiladas or for burritos, because in some places it's like they try to put like before, when I didn't really eat healthy, because I'm trying to eat healthier, and I'm going to continue with that same mission of continuing to eat healthier and healthier. The thing is that when I used to go to eat enchiladas in some places, there used to be chicken enchiladas or cheesy enchiladas, and in some places it was horrible. Like, with your chicken enchiladas, and to make matters worse, it feels like the vegetables were like frozen, or like old vegetables that they threw into to the to the meal. And the same thing goes with the uh, burritos. Sometimes it used to be just pure vegetables, like some places that I've gone to in the past. Some burritos, they just try to fill them up with the most unhealthy meat, like just fat from the meat, and then they throw a lot of onions. They try to fill your whole burrito with just onions, and it's just horrible. But what I've been doing so far is going to places where it's more healthier. I'm not sure if it's healthier, or I'm even going to the point where I'm crazy, even eating vegetable, even having veggie meat and vegetable stuff. But knowing, I mean, reading on the internet, knowing that some people say veggie meat is not healthy because it's some places it's some places it's mixed with regular meat. It's cooked on the same grill with the regular meat. And and something else that I have to talk about is that some restaurants like to add salt, lots and lots of salt to your to your food. So it's like the same thing as you have a lots of salt and lots of other ingredients. And then there's other restaurants that claim to have vegetable vegetable foods, and in reality it's not healthy either, because then then it's just horrible. It's just horrible because then it's just pretty bad. It's just pretty bad that they lie. Some restaurants lie in order to sell their product. That's the thing. That's the honest truth. They like to lie about their product in order to sell it, because if they don't sell, I mean, if they don't lie to you, then they cannot sell the product. They have to entice you with that stuff. And yes, I've tried the Impossible Whopper from Burger King, but I only ate it like maybe once or twice, and and like it tasted exactly like the regular Whopper, except that it had, yeah, actually it was exactly like the Whopper, but I stopped eating the Impossible Whoppers or Impossible meat was because I felt like it's like, to me, in my own mind, or to myself, I felt like it's not real vegetables, or healthier. I feel like it's just a way to trick you into thinking that it's you're eating healthier, but you're still eating the same junk. It's like with the cereals. It's like with the cereals where they put, oh, the it's like with the cereals where they say, oh, you're going to have because they're healthy. No, no. Reading the real ingredients of the Cheerios, it's not healthy. Neither is Special K. Neither is all those Raisin Brands, or those Rice Krispies, and those Kicks. They're all filled with sugar, or other products that just are unhealthy. And yes, I've tried sushi. I'm not I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan of it, but it's okay. It's okay. I've tried sushi because I've got before we I used to like going to the buffet, to the Asian buffet, and and to be honest, I used to like everything out of the Asian buffets. Everything. Prawns. I liked those clams, that have I don't know if it's at every Asian restaurant, but there's these clams that have rice and like some kind of vegetables in there. But the reason that I used to like wontons were because they were like kind of like eating a tortilla chip with like sour cream or something. But it was kind of like very tasty. But the thing is that there's so much oils in those things, which is just pretty bad. But what I've heard from some people is that they eat healthy throughout the week, and then they get to the weekend, and then they can eat. I mean, they eat junk food during the weekend. They just say, "Oh, let's have a cheat day," which is us a Friday, or let's have cheat day, which is Saturday, or let's have a cheat day, which is a Sunday, and we'll just eat all this junk food. Then we'll go back to the whole week, and let's eat healthy all over again. I don't really know about that. I don't really know what to say, because even this cheat day, it's still going to accumulate. It's still going to accumulate. And exercising, as you're asking, Jose, I don't really do this whole ton of exercise, but the thing that I do is that what I do is I walk. So that's the thing. I walk. I don't really do this crazy stuff of running and doing lifts, and I just walk, which to me is it's day it's still pretty good. I feel like it's okay. It's not too hard on yourself. Walking our dogs, and just walking around the city for an hour, and then come back, and that's it. I'm not, because I've heard that if you do too much exercise, and it's a negative. It can damage you. You can have negative results from doing too much exercise, that they call it. I think the doctor said that if you do too much exercise, you can also get sick or something. So I don't really like to do all those weird all those exercises. But as soon as summer comes, I hope just go through the canals right here, because we have a canal somewhere down here, and it's back here. Oh well, you can't really see where I'm at, but like a couple of blocks from us, we have a canal, and we can just go on the bike, and just what I used to do before, as when I first thought I could get healthy, because I used to do this thing also, where I would eat healthy, and then go running up this trail at the park. And for some time, I felt like it was cool. It was cool, and I could just exercise like that, run, and then I gave up, because I'm like, look at this, look at this restaurants. They have tacos, like say, who doesn't like going to Jack in the Box, and having their munchie meals, or having their tacos. Come on. Some people like having their crunchy tacos at Jack in the Box. Some people like having their curly fries. Come on. Onion rings. Like, you can't tell me that in the summer you don't get thirsty, and you don't quench a Coca-Cola, or you don't quench a Pepsi. And to be honest, even at parties, if you go to a party, yes, the because I felt like it was a ripoff. It's like, you have the regular taco, which is 99 cents, and then you go with the tiny taco that is you get like 20. I don't know how many tacos you get in the box, but then they're like tiny. But if you actually use those same little tiny tacos to make the big one, I guarantee, I assume, I'm not guaranteeing, I assume that it would be probably eating like maybe 2 or 3 of the regular tacos. And then I remember, I don't know if they sell them still, but my favorite were the monster tacos. The monster tacos were good. And that's the same thing I have to say. I was a huge fan of going to Taco Bell. That's the honest truth. I was a huge fan of the of of Taco Bell, where I used to love the nachos at Taco Bell. I used to love the chalupas at Taco Bell. I used to love I even like those the because I consider a fad because it doesn't exist anymore. The naked chalupa. I used to love the naked chalupa. Chicken on the outside, the inside all your little lettuce, your tomatoes, and then I used to love to drink with a Coke or Pepsi. And then I used to I almost forgot at Taco Bell. My favorite meal were the Doritos tacos. Some people, yeah, I understand where you don't like the taco the Doritos tacos because sometimes they're too spicy. But for me, I enjoyed them. And something I have to talk about though, something that most people don't understand. When I was younger, I used this I don't know if it's a Mexican restaurant or it was a fast food restaurant where these places are almost gone because we only have one here. The closest one that we have in our area is somewhere in Lincoln Heights, where I used to like going to this restaurant that used to be in East LA that had nachos, and they were very, very good nachos. They were like amazing nachos. You could get your tortillas. There were tortilla chips, which that's the normal thing. You get tortilla chips, but then on top of those tortilla chips, you got real beans, not those cheap like refried beans or what's the other thing, the like mashed beans or something. No, you got real beans, whole beans, and what else did you get? You got a bunch of meat in it. If you wanted meat, you could get meat. On top of that, sour cream, and I almost forgot the cheese. The cheese is not that shredded cheese that you get in most restaurants. You get melted cheese on top of that. You get melted cheese on your tortilla chips, on your nachos. And to be honest about this, the plate was avocado with hot sauce if you wanted to put hot sauce, and what's the other thing? What's the other thing? Yeah, avocado and even sour cream. And most places don't do that. That's the thing. Most places don't put sour cream. But like I said, this restaurant used to be in East LA before it got bought out by this other restaurant. What is it called? Oh, Panda Express. I think Panda Express just took over. But for some time in East LA or two, and then Panda Express just got it. But I think it's because Panda Express has so much money that they're able to just say, here's your money, let's buy you out, and that's about it. And to be honest, this restaurant this restaurant was really nice. Not the environment. The environment sucked. It just sucked. But the nachos, oh man, they're so good. They were so good. But then we found another place, like I said, in Lincoln Heights. I found a different place in Lincoln Heights that does the same nachos as the one in East LA. And it's the exact same deal. Amazing nachos that I guarantee you could, if you eat that, you would definitely be full. I guarantee you can. I mean, it's not a guarantee. I just like saying that. I mean, in my opinion, it's too much nachos for one person. The reason I like that place is because it's authentic. They try to make it as best as possible, those nachos. Because before, I used to go to many restaurants and say, "Oh, I want nachos," or "I want this kind of food," and with the nachos, because one time, like on my in 2010 or 2011, when I was like, let's see, 21 and 10, let's see, I think it's like 6 or 7 years ago. I don't remember what year, but I'm going to say maybe 6 or 7 years ago. No, 6 or 7. No, I would say maybe 10 years ago. I would say maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I went to this. I mean, our whole family went to celebrate my birthday in Burbank. We went to this Mexican restaurant that was high end, and I was kind of disappointed because what they do at this restaurant is that, say, I want to, if one of us order nachos, or what happened. I think we what was it? Yeah, I think we ordered nachos. And what happened is that they give you a huge plate like this, a big plate. I think like this, or maybe bigger. But you were expecting, when you say, "Oh, I want to order nachos," you were expecting a big plate of nachos. But what they do is that they give you, like, say, maybe 5 or 6 nachos, but they're all separated in the plate. And what they did is they put just cheese ingredients they put. But I was I was disappointed though, because it was just like a big plate, but they only give you 6 nachos because they put them like more fancier, which is not not never happening here. Because what we know, I mean, what I know from going to restaurants, is that the nachos, they just put a plate of nachos on your plate, and then on top of that, they just throw the meat, then they throw the cheese, and then they throw their, oh yeah, the cheese that they throw is just shredded cheese, which is not that great, because sometimes some people say the shredded cheese is not real cheese, and it's just that the rubbery cheese. So that's what I'm saying. It's just rubbery cheese. And like I said, that's all it is, just rubbery cheese. Because before, I to go to many locations, many restaurants, trying to look for good nachos, until I found those in Lincoln Heights, because I think I got recommended, or somehow I looked it up on the internet, and that's how I ended up going to those nachos, which were pretty good in Lincoln Heights. I think in Lincoln Heights, it's on, I forget. I think it's called Michoacan or something in Lincoln. I have to get the location and the name. If anybody really wants it, I'll just put it there. But it's kind of far for those that don't live in LA. But they're really good, really good. You get your chata also, or your Jamaica, and it's just incredible. And that's all it is. They're really good. And what else can I say? So I like I said, like I started saying, I I don't know if going vegan, because I'm not really into vegan and into all this health stuff and uh, knowing, because there's some stuff that say, oh, you can eat Cheerios and you could be healthy. No, because there's some people that say, oh, eat this, you will be healthy eating this, or you can be healthy eating that. And to me, like I started saying, is that I started eating healthy way before I mentioned it on here. And then I tried going healthy, and I did start going healthy for maybe a month or two, and then that was it. I just said, I can't do this anymore because I want my enchiladas. I want my enchiladas. I want my tacos. I want my sopes. I want my hamburger from McDonald's. My my Big Mac. I want my chicken sandwich. I want to experience my French fries. Come on, like it's like you're taking drugs or something when you when the commercials or the company like throws it in your face and you want it. It's like an addiction to this junk. It's an addiction. It's very addicting when when you see it. It's very, very addicting, to say the least. It's like a drug. Like you eat the thing, and then after you're like, wow, it tasted so good. But to some people, it's like they don't care, and to them it's like, who cares? I have a doctor. I have a doctor. I have the money to spend on my doctor. He can save me from when I get a heart attack. He can just give me medication or something and save me. But no, 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 no. That's not true at all. None of that is true. And to some people that they eat this sandwich, and or they eat this fried rice and fried chicken. They're like, oh, it was good. And then they go living their life, and then they say, oh, I'm healthy. I don't feel anything. I don't feel like I'm getting a heart attack, because I have a neighbor that says, oh, I can drink all the soda I want because I feel fine. I can drink all the soda I want. And I even have a friend who used to do this, or I don't know if he still does it. He eats not all day. He eats bags and bags of Doritos all day, and of Takis, which I'm not a huge fan of Takis. I'm really not a huge fan of none of that, of those Takis. But he used to eat Takis all day, or he eats Takis all day, drinks soda all day. He even sleeps and even has to hide his own Takis under his pillow to eat them. That's how addicted he is to all this food, all this junk food. And like I said, I'm the type of person that's forcing myself not to try it. But if I'm addicted, I only eat one or two, and the rest just take them away. That's just me. And then vegan, like I said, I don't know how healthy vegan really is, because you can get sick just from having too much salt. So and then I'm planning on going to this vegan restaurant in Whittier, California, that supposedly is vegan, and it's like more healthier, which they say, oh, we pair your food with jackfruit. We give you like wheat tortillas, or our own kind of in-house tortilla that isn't the regular flour tortillas, or the regular corn tortillas. So, and then they pair your food with fruit, because I've gone to restaurants where this location that I got this location where where I got this location. I went to this location that had fruit, and in the fruit, that had this meal that had a lot of fruit in it. It paired the fruit with the beans and with other vegetables, but it was pretty good. And since you're asking about the podcast, I have to say I'm not sure if I'm continuing the podcast, because it I do a podcast, then I stop, then I do it, then I stop, because I'm like, I I just can't keep up with the demand of doing podcast, because the podcast that I'm doing is just not high end yet, because I'm just not I'm just doing little. But it's demanding when you do a video, then you have to edit the video, because sometimes what I do is that with my DSLR, because it's not on the phone. When I do it on the phone, I just try not to do no editing, because sometimes it's just straight out the phone. But when I do the camera, I do editing, where some people have told me, "Oh, do your videos in Rec 709," and 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 then when you do it, you have to add your LUTs and all kinds of stuff, so it doesn't look so so uneven, like rough videos. Make it look a little bit more professional with Rec 709, and shooting in 24 frames per second, and shooting at 1080p, or however max your camera can do, because my DSLR can only do 1080p. But the only thing I don't really like about Sony cameras, just to I've been on here for maybe an hour or two, which I never try to go on for a very long time. But I just wanted to talk with you guys. So podcasting is pretty simple. You just talk, and you can post it at any time. But most people say you have to try to get the hour long. You have to have an hour long of podcasting, which seems pretty simple. But when you have already videos that you're editing and going to put out in 3-4 days, then it just takes forever. Because I do videos in advance, so when the day comes, I don't have to do them. I don't have to do them at the same time. What I mean about that is that I don't just shoot a video, then edit, and then upload. No, I already have videos that are already made, and then I upload them to the YouTube. Then how fast does your connection? How fast of a connection you have to get onto the internet to upload them? Because that's the biggest thing. Uploading videos to YouTube it's a pain in the butt, because of the slow uploads, minimal uploads, depending on how big your file is, depending if your video is 4K, depending if it's in how big the file is itself. And uploading is just a pain in the butt compared to downloading. Yeah, download all you want. It's pretty fast. But uploading is just a big problem. So that's about it. It's like it's pretty bad. Uploading is mostly bad on just by itself. It's pretty bad. So that's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. That uploading for me, it just takes forever. So that's why you don't see me. That's why you that's the reason that it takes me forever. That's why when I do when I did that fake April Fool's whatever junk that I did, because I still think it was a horrible video. I just did it just because I just wanted to do it. But in reality, I'm not really happy with that video. But I just did it because it was pretty quick. it was pretty quick to do it. But it was just a prank. I'm not really being taken off YouTube. I'm not going to no TikTok, and even I don't really care about TikTok. So podcasting, just so you guys know, I'll probably come back. I'll probably upload something to TikTok or not. And there's nothing else I really want to say. So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching this live video. And if you want to watch another live video from me sometime next week, please hit that like button, share this with whoever you feel like. And as always, this is Wolf Vlogs. Hopefully I can continue to do podcasts. I'm not really taking podcasts seriously. That's the main thing, ladies and gentlemen. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, if you want to see another live video, like I said, please hit that like button. Please share with everybody, with other people. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video.